Hey people, it's Niyas talking. This is from The Guardian. 2 men convicted of killing Malcolm X exonerated half a century later. Manhattan judge dismisses convictions of Muhammad Aziz and the late Khalil Islam. The men always maintain their innocence. 2 men who for decades steadfastly maintained their innocence in the 1965 assassination of civil rights leader Malcolm X were exonerated on Thursday after nearly 2 years of reinvestigation. Muhammad Aziz, now 83, and the late Khalil Islam were convicted in 1966 after a trial in which authorities withheld evidence favorable to defense, said their attorneys, the Innocence Project, and civil rights lawyers David Shanice. The Manhattan judge Ellen Biben, and I want to just go back to this. Every time a black person is killed by the police, they'll bring up their record. And black people I've seen, will come and say, well, man, they shouldn't have done it. They were up to no good. How do we know that they did it? The police have long histories of framing black people. Let's keep going. The Manhattan judge Ellen Biben dismissed the convictions of Aziz and Islam on Thursday afternoon. I regret that this court cannot fully undo the serious miscarriages of injustice in this case and give you back the many years that you lost, she said. As the motion to toss out the convictions was granted, the courtroom burst into applause. Aziz, clad in a dark green suit and glasses, stood and read a statement in front of Biben and other court spectators. I do not need this court, these prosecutors, or a piece of papers to tell me I am innocent. I am an 83-year-old who was victimized by the criminal justice system. I hope that the same system that was responsible for this travesty of justice also takes responsibility for the immeasurable harm caused me, he said, adding that his wrongful conviction is one that is all too familiar to black people. The recent investigation found information in FBI files about witnesses who could not identify Islam and implicated other suspects, according to the district attorney. Cyrus Vance Jr., the files revealed the late FBI director J. Edgar Hoover ordered agents to tell witnesses not to reveal that they were informants when talking with police and prosecutors, he said. So all those people, in these celebrity trials of black men, so you think if the head of the FBI can get involved and tell them what to do, who's to say that they're not doing it now? Just put this evidence aside to keep these witnesses' history of lying secret. I apologize for what were serious, unacceptable violations of law and the public trust. There is one ultimate conclusion. Mr. Aziz and Mr. Islam were wrongfully convicted of this crime, said Vance Jr. The co-founder of the Innocence Project, Barry Scheck, also condemned the wrongful conviction, saying the damage done to them and their families is immeasurable. Had exculpatory evidence been made public, it would have changed the history of the civil rights movement in this country, he added. Malcolm X was killed on 21st of February 1965 at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem as he was beginning a speech. Aziz, Islam, and a third man, Mujahid Abdul Halim, also known as Talmadge Hayer and Thomas Hagen, were convicted of murder in March 1966 and sentenced to life in prison. Hagen said he was one of 3 gunmen who shot Malcolm X, but he testified that neither Aziz nor Islam was involved. The two always said they were innocent and offered alibis. No physical evidence linked them to the crime. Malcolm X gained national prominence as the voice of the Nation of Islam, speaking about the importance of black people claiming their civil rights by any means necessary in his highly visible role with the Black Muslim organization. But he later split with the group and after a trip to Mecca started speaking about the potential for racial unity. It earned him the ire of some in the Nation of Islam who saw him as a traitor. Aziz was released in 1985, Islam was released 2 years later and died in 2009, both continuing to press to clear their names. I hope that their families sue to get money. They deserve it and they should be paid it. I don't care what they say about statute of limitations. They should be sued and they should get tens of millions in compensation. And I hope they get it. Let's pray. Anyway, I'm going to leave this article in the description. If you like to support this channel, leave my Cash App. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'll leave that there as well. If you want to buy one of my t-shirts, I'll leave that there as well. Peace.